we see more people coming in. Very good. We want to thank everybody for joining this really special webinar today, where we're going to learn about a variety of the sustainability programs from 7 different chambers across the U.S., 6 from the U.S. and 1 from Mexico. So super excited to have such diversity. My name is Michelle Thatcher. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the U.S. Green Chamber of Commerce. So for today's program, it's really a first of its kind for us. And initially we thought we would be bringing in all kinds of people from just the United States. But outside of the speakers, we have attendees from chambers of commerces from Malaysia and Colombia, the UK, and New Zealand. So just be aware that we are talking to a global audience. Really, in recent months, we've received so many requests from chambers, and we've actually traveled around the world talking to chambers and seeing how we might be able to collaborate. And so that's really, we're always on a constant search for being able to find the best pathway. And we really feel that this is one of the first initial pushes to come together and see about really forming a coalition. I want to make an announcement that please stay tuned for the very end of this event, because we will have 3 different really important announcements, one about an upcoming program, one about post-webinar engagement, and then a very special invite-only group announcement that we really want to put out to each of you. So let's go ahead. I know people are still coming in, but let's go ahead and get started. Today's program would not be made possible without our Chambers for Sustainability Coalition team. And that includes Julie, who's our communications coordinator and sustainability consultant, who's doing our audio today. So thank you, Julie. We have Haley, who's our sustainability research and marketing associate, and she's the one that helps put together really good tools, especially for small to mid-sized businesses. We have Nancy, who's our CSR advisor, and Nancy has worked for chambers of commerces in the past, and so she's been able to make some really good connections for this event and upcoming events as well. And then, of course, you see on the screen we have Amanda, who is our Chamber of Commerce Coalition Manager, who will be moderating today. So go ahead, Amanda, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Again, I would just like to invite each of you to join on building this exciting coalition, which we will cover near the end of the webinar. And if you would like to know more about this or be a part of the first steps or meetings, please feel free to send me an email at amanda@usgreenchamber.com. I will be putting that in the chat as well for your convenience. And I would first and foremost like to thank all of our speakers today for joining our call. Each of them are extremely accomplished and have worked within or are passionate about the sustainability sector. And if you would like to see their full biographies, those have been posted onto the Eventbrite for this webinar. Today, as Michelle mentioned, we will be having speakers from around the nation and 1 international chamber as well. We are excited to welcome in those the Metro Atlanta Chamber from Georgia, Arizona Green Chamber, the German-Mexican Chamber from Mexico City, North Florida Green Chamber, Blair County Chamber from Pennsylvania, National City Chamber from California, and Miami Beach Chamber from Florida. So our first speaker today will be Dave Williams from Metro Atlanta Chamber in Georgia. Dave.
Amanda, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm coming to you from our state capitol here today's the last day of our legislative session, so coming from the state capitol here in Atlanta. So I want to thank Senator Walker for letting me use his office to do this. So thank you, Larry. We have some slides that I'll try to talk to you real briefly and just walk you through 2 quick things. One is our environmental awards recognition program that we do. It's called the E3 Awards. We've done that for 7 years in a row. We haven't quite figured out what we're going to do this coming fall as far as recognizing the award winners that we'll be having. But right now, for the month of June and part of July, the nominations are open. But the whole point behind the E3 Awards was to recognize companies and organizations who are demonstrating exceptional environmental leadership while at the same time contributing to their organization's bottom lines and just delivering strong financial results and creating jobs. So I think, I'm not sure if we have the slides up or not. Amanda, I'm not sure if we're able to put those
I can
up.
pull your slides right now.
That'd be great. I just have 2 slides. I'll probably be brief. The first we'll talk about is I just have 3 award winners that I wanted to highlight. The first was from last year, Delta Airlines, and Delta received the Atlanta E3 award for their broad contributions and commitment to environmental stewardship. I'll just give you a few stats. They were the first U.S. airline to start recycling aluminum cans, plastic bottles and cups, as well as newspapers and magazines. They've recycled over 3 million pounds of aluminum over the last 10 years. They also executed the largest single company textile waste diversion program in U.S. history. They took all of their uniforms from all of their employees, especially their flight and their cabin crew, and converted them into a whole variety of bags and other types of products that were repurposed. They are truly sustainability ambassadors, and they are committed to carbon neutral growth. And it was all of that combined with their fuel savings that not only saved them tons and tons of money, but also a huge amount of carbon and energy savings as well. So that was Delta Airlines. We're all familiar with them. Gooder may be an organization that you're not familiar with, but they are, okay, we're going to go back to that last slide. Sorry, we're going to do 3 and then we'll go back. Gooder's the company in the middle, but they are a for-profit company that deals with food insecurity. They believe that food insecurity is a logistics problem, not a resource problem. We have tons and tons of food, millions of tons of food that we throw away, yet we have so many people that are hungry in the United States. And so they have created a program by which they get food from companies, mainly restaurants, at the end of the day that would ordinarily that company would have to pay for that food to be go to a landfill, and they are able to figure out how that unused food can go to folks that are food insecure, within a period of less than an hour. And they do that through an app that they've created. But the most interesting thing about this to me is that they are not a nonprofit. They're a for-profit company. They charge the companies whose food they come and pick up. But it's at a lower price than what it would be to send that food if it were going to a landfill. And then the third that I'll mention was a great example. I happen to live in Gwinnett County. It's a county northeast of Atlanta, and their water is about 1 million people, so it's a large county. They have to process water when they filter it for reuse, and 85%, they're able to recover 85% of the phosphorus and 40% of the nitrogen out of the water that they process. And rather than having those chemicals sent to a landfill, they reprocess that and turn it into fertilizer and sell it as a commercial fertilizer. So they're doing something they would have had to anyway, but rather than having that go to a landfill, they turn around and sell that into a commercially viable fertilizer product that's used in a lot of our agricultural operations here in Georgia. So those are 3 things. I will move to the next slide and just talk real briefly about our sustainability dashboard. One of the things that we wanted to do was compare ourselves. We believe, like a lot of folks, that what gets measured gets done. And this is just one example. It's our water dashboard. We took 6 areas that we wanted to compare ourselves to other peer regions and cities around the country. This happens to be water that I'm showing you right now. We compared what Metro Atlanta is doing over a period of time on per capita water consumption. As you can see, Atlanta is improving at that. We've made a real commitment to that through our policy positions and pricing and a variety of different levers that we're able to pull. And so you'll see that we're making good progress there against some of our competitors and some of our peer regions. I'll just real quickly mention that the other areas that we do measurements are on tree canopy. So we take a look at a percentage of tree canopy in the region, and then also the amount of urban warming compared to what the rural baseline is. Air quality, we take a look at the amount of particulate matter using the PM 2.5 standard. In transportation, we look at yearly delay per commuter. In built environment, we take a look at the amount of square footage of certified LEED and Energy Star spaces. On waste, we take a look at waste diversion rate. And just some of the peer, you'll see this, and some of the peer places we compare ourselves to are Phoenix and Seattle and New York and San Francisco. I will tell you that the challenge is getting the data and getting data that is using the same benchmark, and that data doesn't change very fast. So this year we'll be updating that from the first edition of that. And, but we think it's important for us to put that out there so we can track our progress. So I guess I'll stop there. I'm probably at my time, and I appreciate the chance to be with you today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dave, for your presentation. Clearly, your chamber has made a huge impact, as I saw that on your website, Georgia has been named the #1 state for doing business for the past 6 years. I did not know that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Also,
it's a team effort, so I don't want to take credit for that solely, but anyway.
Absolutely, but nonetheless, your chamber has definitely made a huge impact. Our next speaker will be Jennifer Johnson from Arizona Green Chamber. Jennifer.
Hi, everybody. It's so great to be here. Been great to be connected with the U.S. Green Chamber since we became an affiliate in January, right, Michelle? I think that was January.
Yeah.
And one thing that I'm going to talk about is that when I first came, I'm the vice president of the Green Chamber of Arizona. And when I first came in 2 years ago, I was a member for 5 years before I became on the board of directors. And when I came in 2 years ago, we had kind of a defunct, I want to say, board. A lot of people had different goals. We weren't necessarily focused. So last year, about this time, it's been about a year, we hired somebody. We started classes on making sure that we had a joint vision, a joint mission, revamped ourselves, brought in new board members, and really rolled out our new mission and vision last November. So it's been a fantastic restart. We've had lots of great progress. And then, recently we had to pivot just a little bit because of not being able to have face-to-face meetings, which has been actually fantastic because we opened up a Sip and Connect series. So every Thursday at 5 o'clock, everybody brings their favorite beverage. And we've had topics from all over the valley. We've had people speak about, we had Earth Day celebration. We have the municipalities come on and speak to the different communities about what they're doing toward sustainability. We have the state of Arizona food system people get on the call and talk about what the food system plan is, because agriculture is a huge thing in Arizona. So we have lots of organic farms, a lot of organic farms, and a lot of farmers that water, of course, they care about. So we have a lot of water programs that we bring in to talk about. We've had sustainable fashion, alternative fuel vehicles. We've had people come in from the Arizona Department of Air Quality and talk about what's going on with Arizona air quality. We've had local companies like the Flynn Foundation join us to make sure that everybody knows what's going on with they are starting up new leaders in civics as well as biosciences to talking more about sustainability. And then one of our big things is, there's a lot of organizations inside of Arizona that are focused on sustainability and so on. And so we wanted to make sure that we weren't just going to be another one of those. We are in the process of creating a calendar so that we have all events from all sustainability organizations, as well as to make sure that we're the one-stop shop. So if somebody wants to know what's going on for tree planting or food systems, then they need volunteers that they can go to that site and see that there's see what's going on that weekend for individuals and others inside of the community to get everybody involved. Our main focus is to make sure that we are, even though we have people that are working on policy inside the Arizona state government, we also want to make sure that we are teaching the individuals in our community that they can focus where they spend their dollars. And if they focus those and know where the sustainable companies are at, then that will help enforce the local businesses to focus more sustainably as well. And we have partnered with Local First Arizona, as well as Green Light Solutions Foundation, which is part of the ASU Sustainability School. And we're working through programs with them to have, if they have green certification programs for businesses. And we are honoring those to give somebody a little bit more special member benefit if they have gone through their business green business certification. Like I said, we created our Sip and Connect, and we were originally going to do it just until the end of this month, until the end of June. But a lot of our members asked us, and a lot of other businesses and our municipalities asked us to continue doing that. So we are going to continue through the rest of this year, having our Sip and Connect series every Thursday. And we've decided that we're going to have a community mixer every 6 weeks. So we won't have a speaker, but we will have some panelists come on, and we will talk about things that each of the communities would like to see more from us, and other things that are going on throughout the rest of the community. So really, in our chamber, as we've restarted, we really want to make sure that everyone knows how to connect with each other and knows where they can go to learn more about sustainability and other programs that are happening through the municipalities, because Arizona is broken up into 3 primary geographies: the Phoenix metropolitan area, the Tucson area, which is south of Phoenix, and then the Flagstaff area, which is north of Phoenix. We want
Jennifer, sorry to disrupt, but this is the 30-second notification.
Okay, well, I am done then. So yeah, that's all we wanted to do, is we wanted to make sure that everybody across the country knows the things that are going on, because one person does make a difference.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jennifer. That was amazing. I would also like to point out that the Arizona Green Chamber just organized an event, I believe it was yesterday, that covered the topics of environmental justice and sustainability. Obviously, during these times, this is a particularly important issue we must address regarding not only the environment, but also social sustainability and inclusion. I mean, it's crucial at this time.
It was a great event. We had 44 people and 9 people from around the world.
Wow, that's amazing. I believe our next speaker is Kira Patowski, but I'm not sure if she's having audio problems. Kira, are you able to hear us and or speak? Okay, if not, I will change to the next speaker, and then we can put Kira at the end in the event she is able to join us. Our next speaker will be Christina Kelcourse from the North Florida Green Chamber. Christina?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I was really looking forward to hearing Kira, so but I hope she comes on later.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So we are a branch of the U.S. Green Chamber in North Florida, which is primarily the Jacksonville area and the St. Augustine area in Florida. And we have created a couple programs that we're pretty proud of. And the 3 that we're going to talk about today, I'm going to share with you today. One is the Green Marketplace, one is our Buyers Club, and one is our Sustainability Coaching Program. So I'll just let you know what we're doing with each one of those. The Green Marketplace, we created, it's an online, kind of an online database where people can go to find green businesses. And this was kind of born out of the idea that people were in this area, we're trying to find certain products or certain services from businesses that were socially or environmentally sustainable, and there was no way to find out who those businesses were. So our Green Marketplace, you can all check it out. It's on our website, which is super easy to find. It's just northfloridagreenchamber.org. And on the front page, you'll see a link to the Green Marketplace. And you can check, once you get into the Green Marketplace, you can search the different industries, or you can type in a search key with keywords. So for instance, if you're trying to find a place to go get your hair done and you don't want a lot of chemicals, you can type in hair care and see the green salons that we have. Another cool thing with the Green Marketplace is that we let businesses say why they're green. So if you have a law firm on the Green Marketplace, why is the law firm green? Well, you can actually read why. So maybe they have social programs in the office, or they're recycling, or their business has their office space has solar panels. So we're letting people actually know why these businesses are green. So that's our Green Marketplace, and we're really proud of it. Our Buyers Club is our second program, And our Buyers Club is a way for us to reduce plastic and styrofoam waste. We are a coastal city, so being on the ocean, we also have waterways. We have the St. Johns River. We have the intercoastal going right through our North Florida area. And seeing pollution is hard. But it's also hard for businesses to pay for eco-friendly products because they're usually about 4 times more expensive. So as a green chamber, we thought, how can we affect that bottom line and how can we help businesses with the cost? So we bid a contract across the country for distributors who had eco-friendly products. We actually got more bids than we expected and had some great distributors that we were able to really research their products and make sure that they were actually eco-friendly. Once we found a distributor that we liked and that we felt was eco-friendly, we made sure we looked at the price. And right now we have prices for every Green Chamber member in North Florida that orders through the Buyers Club. They are leveraging the price of the whole group as a whole. So we're leveraging volume. So the small mom and pop shop that doesn't want to get rid of styrofoam, they're actually paying the same price as the large hospitals in town or the amphitheaters in town or dozens of other restaurants. And the good thing is that the Buyers Club pricing is reevaluated each quarter. So based on volume, our distributor will give us an additional discount each quarter if we continue to add people and restaurants and businesses into the Buyers Club. We made the Buyers Club very restaurant friendly. It's a lot of to-go containers and straws and bamboo silverware instead of plastic. But it's also got things in there that an office space can use. So we have, if you have a law firm and you want to serve a coffee to your customers, we have coffee stirrers and coffee cups. We have cleaning products. So any office space that has a bathroom or a kitchen space or a break room, we have eco-friendly, non-toxic cleaning products in there. So the Buyers Club is, and we do have a whole range now of COVID type products. So gloves and cleaning stuff for related to taking care of sanitation. So that's our Buyers Club, and we're really proud of our Buyers Club too. Another service that we offer our Green Chamber members is when you join the North Florida Green Chamber, you have the option to have a session with a sustainability coach. So we've partnered with a handful of sustainability coaches. We worked through a vetting process to make sure that the coaches actually knew what they were talking about and either had the right certifications or experience to actually help or educate business owners. And I'm happy to say that our coaches have a wide range of specialties. So we have coaches that work with municipalities. We have coaches that work with small businesses. We have coaches that work with large companies and corporations. We have coaches that work with retrofit and then new construction as well. So we have a wide range. So when we have a new Green Chamber member that joins, we match them with the right coach, the right sustainability coach, and they get a free session. This is not just a free consultation, this is a free session. So it's more than just a consultation, and the hope is that
yes, I hate to disrupt again, but this is the 30-second warning.
I'm almost finished. Our sustainability coach will meet with them and in the hopes that they continue to work with the sustainability coach and hire the coach above and beyond the session, but that the session's actually a working session, not just a consultation. So those are the ways that we're trying to make North Florida greener.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I believe Kira is now in the call, which is super exciting. Let me check to see if she's on. Kira, do you have audio access now?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So next we have Kira Potowski from the German-Mexican Chamber based in Mexico City. Kira?
Yeah, sorry so much, but when I actually wanted to present, internet was gone. We're having problems here. So I would like to share my screen to have this short presentation. Thanks firstly so much for the invitation. I'm excited to present with all the American chambers, being the one nothing to do with the US actually, kind of, but more in the sense of being bilateral chamber between Germany and Mexico. I hope you can see my presentation. Yes, I'm head of trade and investment department at the German Chamber of Commerce. I will be very brief. And I just would like to give you an insight of the German-Mexican Chamber. We are bilateral. We have been in Mexico for 90 years now, with more than 800 member companies, not only from Germany, but also from Mexico. We are very spread around the whole country. As you know, Mexico is very big as well. And we're also a service provider. We have almost 2,000 companies with German capital here in Mexico. That's maybe just some general insight. And 60% are more distribution companies, service companies, and 40% manufacturing companies. In this sense, because our mandate is to present German technology in the Mexican market as the bilateral chamber, we do business delegations on technical issues like energy efficiency in the industry or the commercial sector, or on tourism, solar energy, bioenergy, water treatment. So we bring up to 8 German companies for each delegation to Mexico, organizing them B2B meetings with Mexican companies, and also webinars. Here I've just put some screenshots so you can see we all do Zoom now, so it's not a big deal. However, for example, in this webinar, we had up to 500 followers or listeners. So in Mexico, Zoom is the hit, and webinars as well. Yeah, we also do virtual sessions via Zoom. We have been very active every week, almost 2 or 3 virtual sessions now, since we are still in home office and still in quarantine, at least here in Mexico City. The topics are very broad, but always in the energy sector, mostly focused on energy efficiency, because here in Mexico, the industrial sector needs to be, or getting more and more energy efficient, because the energy and electrical tariffs are getting higher and higher. So they're always coming up to us and asking, what can we do in order to do energy efficiency? And for this, during our webinars, but as well as in our committees, as you can see on the right-hand side, we also have a committee in energy and sustainability. We try to answer those questions. We also integrated learning networks. Those networks, they actually work very well, because it's not only a 1-hour webinar. You have 10 companies learning within 1 year from each other about topics like energy efficiency, energy management systems, and mostly they're always based on the norm, or the ISO 500,001. I also put the internet website. It's all in Spanish. You can practice your Spanish. Also, all our material always is in Spanish and German. But we also offer specialist courses on energy management, like energy audit, photovoltaic, distributed generation, to also have the companies interested in those topics a closer and detailed insight. We offer also a diploma in energy efficiency for more than 10 years now, with more than 100 alumni, and always being focused very much on energy efficiency and renewables. And
This is the 30-second warning.
Sorry, perfect. 30 seconds is perfect, because this is my last topic. This morning we had a webinar on solar thermal technology, solar heat for industrial processes. It's called SHIP. So we also are very engaged in promoting technology in the thermal heat, because here in Mexico, we're always talking about electricity, but 70% of energy from the Mexican companies is needed for thermal heat, and solar heat is one of the well, since in Mexico there's a lot of sun, it's a very interesting topic. Here I just have data where you can see actually that 67% is heat demand and 33% is electrical demand, and the discussion always goes into the electricity market. Yeah, and with this, I leave my contact details also in the presentation if you like to have more contact, because of course this is a 5-minute pitch, and I hope I sold very well the German-Mexican Chamber in sustainability, and maybe we can have a virtual beer together in the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kira. It is an honor to have an international guest at this webinar, as I believe you're the only international chamber representing in this webinar. But you also mentioned to me how you guys are a part of 90 German chambers throughout the world, and there are also 5 currently in the US, correct? Oh, sorry. I believe we have to unmute you. Okay, I have unmuted you.
Thank you. Yeah, we are a network of 90 German chambers worldwide, and in the US you have 5 chambers. In the chat, I will put the link in which you can see where those 5 chambers are located.
Awesome, thank you so much. Our next speaker, oh, sorry, before I go on to the next speaker, I wanted to make a quick note for Christina. I also would like to congratulate the North Florida Green Chamber, as I saw that they were just recently featured in an article on sustainability in this month's Florida Trend magazine. So congratulations for that. Our next speaker will be Joe Hurd from the Blair County Chamber, which is based in Pennsylvania. Joe?
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm kind of an outlier here, I guess, compared to some of the programs that you all operate where you are. But it was approximately 10 years ago that our Chamber of Commerce, which has a little over 1,000 members, had a few of our members come to our board of directors and say, you know, we need to start doing something related to sustainability. And they asked that our chamber form a committee on sustainability. And I thought, well, you know, we have so many different committees. I'm not sure our board is going to want to add another committee. To my surprise, unanimously, our board approved a committee called Sustainable Blair County. And since then, that program has been one that has been very effective for our business community. We've been able to identify a lot of things that our businesses have not been aware of, but now are taking much more seriously, including a survey that we put together with the help of an organization called Sustainable Pittsburgh. And the survey is one that that businesses can go through a variety of different questions about a variety of sustainability issues. And out of that, it helps them to essentially determine what their strengths and weaknesses are as they pertain to sustainability. And we give them little designations from gold to silver to bronze, depending on how well they do in the survey. And every time that they identify something where they have a weakness of some kind, if they improve that, it also then improves their status among the people in our business community. And we recognize these people at a special breakfast each year to let people know how important sustainability is to them. And so the other part of our committee's work, it focuses very heavily on our local schools, particularly the elementary schools in our area. We go into the schools and do different programs. We have one school in particular that we started a program called the Green Beans, that the young people go through a variety of sustainability and environmental exercises and educational programs. to really kind of call attention to the importance of sustainability, so that as young people go up through the grades, they understand how important sustainability is. And so we tell people that we're the best sustainability committee in Pennsylvania. We feel confident saying that because where chambers of commerce are concerned, I don't even know of any other chamber in Pennsylvania that has a sustainability committee or a sustainability program. And so we've kind of taken it on ourselves to do some things to make more chambers aware of the importance of this and how successful we've been able to be. And hopefully more of them will jump on board. So that's all I have to say. I'm an old man and I can barely stay awake for all this. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. It's very impressive that you guys were able to implement a sustainability committee, especially knowing that that's not the common culture in that area. So that's amazing. Our next speaker will be Jacqueline Reynoso from the National City Chamber in California. Jacqueline, I believe she has a few slides she would like to share as well.
Yes, thank you. All right, is everyone able to see my slide deck?
It's just a black screen for me.
Okay, let's do a new share.
Yes, I see it now.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. All right, I'll get right into it. You're good on timing.
Good.
I'm happy to be here with everyone. It's interesting, our chamber really has evolved from a community focus to a regional focus and now into a binational focus. So I'll kind of walk you through that journey. For us, it's really all about partnerships, and before even engaging in the work of building up programs or projects or award ceremonies, we knew we had to get the right regional partners to the table. So we reached out to various folks representing different industries, and in particular, we started with the utilities companies in in all of San Diego region. So you see a lot of those partners listed here. Over time, we brought in more specific industry leaders, but for us, it was really critical to support our programming and our operations through these regional partnerships and the active funding programs and funding streams they already had in place, whether it was through state, local, or regional policy. Let me just glide over this here now. We have various green initiatives, so I'll talk about our green business program, about our marketing and advertising tools, our awards, and most recently our binational sustainability committee and conference that is under development. The program actually was formulated. It was a vision of a group of students and our chamber staff about 12 years ago now. I'm sorry, 12 years ago. And so for us, right, as we're evolving through our processes, youth have been a huge driver in the development of many of our programs. So I just wanted to note that. But anyhow, it was San Diego State University. Their research project was based on how could we develop a green program for a local chamber. And at that time, there was no green chambers in our area, at least. And it was just kind of a thought to many of the regional agencies in town. It definitely took the work of various folks representing the nonprofit sector, city government, the private sector, and also residents and community. In terms of our focus for the program, we started with just education and outreach, evolved into marketing, networking opportunities, and then we really got into some advocacy work, either legislation that was being discussed or developed at the state level and locally. And one of the local examples first was the PACE program that we got behind to ensure that it passed through a municipal ordinance. And PACE stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy. So it was a financing mechanism to enable local residents and businesses to take advantage of solar and to be able to install that and receive free financing for it. I'll just gloss over that. So one of the programs that we also developed in partnership with the city of Chula Vista, which is a neighboring municipality, was the Freebie program, Free Resource and Energy Business Evaluations. And what this program does is we have a contract. And so our goal is to visit at least 200 businesses in the year. And we're door knocking and making appointments and sharing what is on the table in terms of incentives and resources from all of the different partners that work with us. And then we also conduct a free energy evaluation and give them recommendations of what they could do to improve their operations. So we've been doing that since 2015. I think just to funding limitations that may cease in these coming years. Another regional activity I wanted to note was the South Bay Energy Action Collaborative. So we are a member of that, and that's how we got to our partnership with the city of Chula Vista. But this initiative really extends beyond multiple cities within the region, and they're coming together to share best practices, policy work, projects, programs, events, and it kind of serves as a clearinghouse for what we're doing, with a particular focus on the South Bay of San Diego. So San Diego is, fairly large, ranging from the north to the South County. Another important measure we've taken on is coordination with the City of National City on their climate action plan. And so we're readily at the table identifying ways that we can partner and help them implement certain sections or initiatives within their climate action plan. An exciting
Second morning.
Okay, thank you. I'll just mention the last two things then. The LEAD program was a certification that we just recently received. And we're really proud of that. But beyond, our accomplishment, it serves as an
construction to be, more resilient. It has been, also working on mitigation strategies and infrastructure modification. Is the key? There's a resiliency strategy that they've implemented, and they're very actively investing in that process. There are things, for example, like the Plastic Free Miami Beach program that is trying to really take plastic out of the environment, from food service establishments to grocery stores and so on. So there's a great sense of we need to remove plastic from the oceans, which is something that we know globally is a major emergency. Flood awareness is key in what we're trying to do, and our mission statement at the task force is to really bring the best ideas and the sort of authentic, heartfelt conversation between community, investors, and policymakers, making sure that the policymakers are making wise decisions and wise investments. That's always a challenge. But flood awareness, sort of understanding the danger of being in a coastal city that is mostly on average at about 6 feet above sea level. In some areas is actually at sea level. These are important topics that we cover. We have monthly meetings. Right now, given the COVID pandemic, we've kind of put a pause on the meetings because I think right now the city has so many other priorities that are economic in nature, and the closure of the beaches and the pandemic safety concerns. But the city has great innovative strategies. They've been looking at, for example, the return on investment. There's great work being done right now by consultants for the city that is sort of trying to quantify the economic benefits of investing in resiliency in a coastal city to make sure that the taxpayers feel that the money is being spent as wisely as possible. So, again, at the chamber, we're trying to sort of lead on. We want to make sure that we're collaborating with city policymakers, and that we're not just sort of reactive, but that we're really in the mix of decision making, of looking at regulations, and making sure that also the city is behaving in a very sustainable way.
Ronaldo,
you may have heard
that this is the 32nd morning.
Okay, so the city has invested close to $500 million already in a pump system to try to keep the city dry. There's a lot of controversy about that. It's sort of at the heart of adapting the city to the challenges that sea level rise and climate change is bringing. So, that's what we're trying to do. I mean, really activate the conversation, make sure that is going in the right direction, that we feel like the business community is participating, and that everybody feels like the city has an expanded life, that there's going to be a lot of Miami Beach for a lot of years, and not just sort of focus on retreating and displacing the population.
Thank you so much, Ronaldo. I believe that is all of our speakers for today. So I would like to thank all of our speakers today for sharing about their wonderful initiatives. I believe that with the implementation of programs like these, we can achieve a more sustainable environment and get one step closer to a greener future. Obviously, we chambers have a very powerful influence over our business members and therefore communities as a whole. So with this, we can change the course and mindset of our society. And I think all of these programs are doing exactly that. So now I would like to open it up to the Q&A. So far, a few of the audience members have been putting in some comments and questions into the chat box, which I will now relay. Let me go through. Okay, well, the first comment was from Luis Rodriguez. He wanted to say congratulations to Christina Kelcourse and North Florida Green Chamber on their fantastic work. They said they specifically loved the Buyers Club and that they've been trying to implement something very similar in Miami Beach called a green purchasing co-op. I'm not sure if all the speakers have, before we begin the Q&A, actually, I would like all of the speakers to, Ronaldo, if you could please stop sharing screen.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And if all the speakers could please turn on their video for the Q&A and discussion so that all of the audience members can see all of the panelists. And then Julie will go ahead and unmute all of you right now. Awesome. So we have 6 speakers. Dave unfortunately had to log off, so this will be everyone for now. Actually, we seem to be missing one more speaker. Oh, Kira, did you want to put on your video and audio? Awesome. Thank you so much, Kira. So I will continue on with the Q&A. Okay. So, Jacqueline also wanted to compliment you, Christina, on your Buyers Club. She said it was a wonderful idea. Or sorry, the Green Marketplace. Okay. And then Kathy McGuire wanted to ask, she said, I know many organizations create their own guidelines for businesses to be green, but I'm wondering if B Corp is known among your chapters. It's perfect for business of all sizes and incorporates governance, environmental, and social responsibility guidelines, and it is an internationally recognized program. Are any of you familiar with this program?
We are in Arizona. We have a couple of our members are B Corp organizations. It is, although for some of the smaller businesses, it is quite expensive to keep up. So while it is a great environmental thing, a lot of our companies actually do some consulting on how to write your processes in someone without actually going through the B Corp certification, so that you can do your sustainability, so that if it gets to the point that you want to someday do that certification, you're more prepared to do it than a whole revamp.
Awesome. Let me see what the next question is. I want to keep the Q&A pretty brief so that we have time for the discussion at the end. So I will list off some of the important questions. I guess just a quick note. Sorry. Let me see.
I'll jump in and ask Joe a quick question. You mentioned that you're starting to work with some of the existing chambers. How are you doing that? How are you influencing them to possibly start down the path of sustainability?
Well, we belong to an organization, a statewide organization called the Pennsylvania Association of Chamber Professionals. And we do a fall conference each year. And so I've had an opportunity to speak some breakout sessions at that particular conference. And evidently I'm not doing a very good job because people are not clamoring to start their sustainability committees or their sustainability programs. And most of the people I've talked to have said, well, you know, it's a great idea. It's good that you guys are doing it and having success with it, but we have so many other things on our plate that, you know, we'll eventually get to this. And unfortunately, you know, my response to them is always, well, you better get to it pretty quickly, because there are an awful lot of sustainability issues that are impacting businesses that businesses are either not aware of, or they're taking the same approach of, well, you know, we'll get to it. So we're kind of pounding away on some of the chambers that have more of a tendency to listen and understand why it's so important. And some of them will never get it, and that's unfortunate as well.
Thank you.
Jerry Libin from Miami Beach Chamber, I believe, he just asked, how can other chambers make the Buyers Club available to their members?
Good question.
So I guess you're asking me, right now it's really geared towards North Florida, the one that we have. I guess if you wanted to create one in your own city or your own region, you just have to build one yourself. As far as making it available, the one that we currently have is a contract with a distributor to ship to North Florida area. So I don't know if it's something that can be shared to different regions at this time. It can be replicated, but I don't think it can, I don't think that you can join in the existing Buyers Club. I'd be happy to tell you more of how we created it. It's actually a member benefit for us. So to be part of the Buyers Club, you have to be a Green Chamber member and you have to pay an annual membership. So it's a benefit that we provide free to our members. Anybody who wants to be in the Buyers Club can do that and can access the products at a lower cost based on the volume. So it's one of the ways that it's one of the things that we thought would help make sustainability less expensive for businesses. And the amount of work that goes into creating programs like that, we had to make it a member benefit, so you have to be a member.
Okay, and I guess we'll end on one last question. Ronaldo talked a lot about climate change and how it will have an impact on his community. Are there any other chambers who might be in areas of risk? Especially this goes along with Jennifer's presentation that they just had yesterday about environmental injustice, as it is very prevalent to this day.
This is Jacqueline. I'd like to speak to that.
Okay.
We're over here in the San Diego coastal area, and we realize that the environment really has, no boundaries in terms of how we are addressing issues geopolitically. So that brought us to develop the Binational Sustainability Conference. And I'm actually very curious in speaking later to Reynaldo about their work in Miami. Essentially, the platform that they're using is where we want to get to coordinate services, policies, infrastructure, and solutions to sustainability threats in our region, which represents between 4.9 and 6.5 million folks that encompasses Baja California in Mexico and the San Diego region. So I think, it's a lot about the coordination, and we're starting to see more government agencies develop these binational committees, whether it be on transportation, trade and tourism, on economic development. And so our involvement with the conference that's being planned for December is to focus on sustainability, right, on rising sea levels. The Port of San Diego here in the South Bay of San Diego, they are very much focused on the blue economy and on rising sea levels. So just to kind of throw them out there as a potential agency that you can reach out to and learn more about their initiatives and their efforts in addressing these challenges.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I believe there is one more question actually I'd like to go over, a specific question for Chris as well. Do your members receive special group purchasing pricing?
Is that a buy? I'm guessing, is that a buyer's club question?
I believe so. This is a
Yeah.
question from Luis Rodriguez. He says yes.
Yes, absolutely. So we made sure we worked with restaurants and businesses before we chose a distributor. So we actually had a blind bid where we asked for specific products, and we had distributors across the country give us a discount. And then we looked at those discounts. We were getting the best possible discount. And so the prices in our buyers club are lower than what you would see on the website. So if you went to the distributor's website and looked at the products, you would see a certain price. And then if they created a website just for North Florida Green Chamber, the distributor did. So if you're a North Florida Green Chamber member, you have your own website, you go to that website and the prices are lower. And nobody can see that unless you're in the buyers club. So it's kind of exclusive just to the buyers club. I do share some prices with people in a face-to-face meeting so that they can see what they would be getting into if they were looking at membership, just to expand the buyers club. But that's the long answer. The short answer is yes, we definitely have lowered prices than what's on the regular website.
Okay, and then he just follows up with a quick last question again. He asks, do you need to store products or are they shipped directly to the buyers?
At this time, they're shipped directly to the buyers. If we did have access to a warehouse at some point in the future, we've looked at that. It's definitely not in our plans for any time in the near future, but if we did have access to that, the prices would be even lower.
Okay. And I guess there's one question for Kira also, because she has not yet spoken in this Q&A. She mentioned that her chamber introduces German sustainable technology to Mexico's market, like solar energy, but one of the technologies that she mentioned was tourism. This is something that she's never heard of and would like to know more about that.
No, actually, it's not technology for tourism. It was related to energy efficiency in the tourism sector.
Oh, okay.
So all the hotels obviously could implement solar heat. They could implement, I don't know, LED in technology for illumination. They could be more efficient on AC, no? So this was related more to energy efficiency in the tourism sector.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I believe that concludes our Q&A session. So I would now like to hand it over to Michelle, who will be introducing a potential new coalition.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, all of our speakers. I think what we realized here is there is a gold mine of information. And even just having Jacqueline say, you know, I really want to learn more about this, all of the questions about the Buyers Club, and really understanding how we can leverage the power of the connection and the network together. I'm just going to go share my screen very quickly. So I promised a couple of announcements, and one of them is we do have another webinar coming up. We have so many chambers that have this type of goldmine information, and we want to make sure that we reach out to them and give them a platform to be able to speak. Oh, you'll also receive a survey after this particular probably at the beginning of next week. Julie will be able to send that, just your availability to speak if you haven't had that opportunity. I know we have Mauricio from the Columbia Green Chamber. I know we have Ku from the ASEAN Green Chamber. We have other chambers on this call, and we'll also be watching this recording. So we want to make sure that we offer that as an opportunity. Anything needed? I mean, we want to probably know more. If you're willing to share your tools and resources with others, you know, what would you have available as we start to build a coalition? And again, that special invitation to be part of a Chamber for Sustainability coalition. I just feel like, you know, we don't want there to be the Joe herds of the unicorns just in their entire state. So we want to make sure that we have more out there that we could bring together. We want to be able to tap into that power of the chambers. You know, yes, we thought this would be maybe US focused and we can have a special group just for that. But I think that there's so much to learn internationally. I mean, hearing from the German-Mexican Chamber, I mean, it was fascinating and it's exciting to hear. We work heavily with SMEs, as I'm sure all of you do as well. And so even just trying to find and bringing those together, 95% of the world's businesses are small to mid-sized businesses, but yet the majority of companies going sustainable are still the large corporations. But we still work with the corporations and nonprofits, and how do we leverage and bring all of them together? Using our chamber power. You know, chambers of commerce have a long history. It's amazing. The first chamber was in 1599 in Marseille, France. 4,000 chambers, just the ones that have full-time staff within the United States, and there's thousands more that are just run on volunteer base. 13,000 globally. And of course, there's all of these wonderful diverse chambers, which next time we will be bringing in some of those to our conversation. So every single country in the world has chambers of commerces. So it's coming together. These are just a few photos from some of our global travels with meeting other chambers and in Albania and Colombia and Singapore and Malaysia. So again, Ku, I think hopefully you're still on the call, and Mauricio. Thanks to them, we've been able to reach out far and wide. I look at this as, or we look at this as a coalition of hope. You know, with the health crisis, with the pandemic right now, all of the Black Lives Matter and social justice issues, the climate crisis, the global, and of course, what most people care about is the global economic crisis. You know, this can be something that can take us on a whole nother level. This hasn't been done before. Chambers haven't come together yet to say, you know what, we can reclaim what a chamber is. And even if we get a small portion of those chambers to come on board, it'd be really exciting. You know, as we've gone around the world, we see that we can learn from each other and see what those new innovations are. It's not just here in the United States. There's incredible innovations around the world. So finding those diverse teams and, you know, coming together and promoting those successes as we're trying to do here, and talk to new leaders. We're, you know, just in Kosovo and meeting with the Prime Minister. So together we can share the resources, and I hope some of you might be willing to share with each other, learn from each other, just like what we're doing today. There's, again, a gold mine with what's here. Support each other. You know, hopefully Miami Beach can get together with National City. And National City, I just want to point out that they were the very first chamber that we talked to probably 5 years ago that had a pretty robust sustainability program. And so we were promoting their programs probably 5 years or more ago, and to help guide each other. So with that, if we can do that, our future is safer, it's healthier, it's more inclusive. And what we need right now for all of our businesses is for all of us to be more prosperous. So together we are stronger. We hope that you can join us. It's not about us or one chamber just doing this, because that, you know, we're just silos out there. It's about everybody coming together, bringing in new players that we didn't even think about before, and being able to have those pathways to amplify the chamber message. It's not just another business organization or another certification organization. It's about bringing this long time established set of organizations together and saying, we're going to retool and reshape what chambers of commerce can really be. So we hope that all of you will want to be part of this. We send a special invitation to be part of this Chambers for Sustainability Coalition. Amanda is this manager, amazing job. I'm so grateful for the team that we have and having her lead this charge.
Thank you so much, Michelle. It means a lot.
Well, awesome job today. And we just want to thank everybody who's been part of this event and thank a big a round of applause to all of you. I mean, I learned so much. I'm so excited about the next steps that we can all take together. So thank you.
Yes, thank you so much to all of the speakers. And of course, if you are interested in the coalition, please email me at amanda@usgreenchamber.com. I added it again into the chat in case anyone joined into the meeting late, but please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or any other social media platform. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.